Hello. Hello and welcome to JV's Daily Mark. And this is a series which we are conducting on the regular basis for current affairs. We learn in this series how to write answers based on the current editorials. And in this series, what we are trying to cover is the most important articles from newspapers, whether that is The Hindu or Indian Express. Let's start the discussion for question of the day that was today, which was asked in the morning. And in this series, the best part of the series is that we start this series 9 in the morning. That 9 in the morning, you will get your question, and by 5 in the evening, you will get the answer of this question. You'll get your answer copy evaluated within 24 hours, and then you will have one discussion at 6 in the evening. Before you get your copy evaluated, you have one discussion at 6 in the evening on Zoom platform where you can ask your questions also about your doubts about this question, and you can develop your art of answer writing. Fine. So let's start the discussion for day 224. Before we begin to the discussion itself, I want to introduce you PAREEKSHANAM 2.0 in a new avatar. We have launched this for 100 students only, to which the slots are now almost full. I guess very less slots are left now. The PAREEKSHANAM 2.0 is an integrated approach to which a lot of us have toiled, so that there is a test series which will integrate our prelims, mains, which will integrate our GS, CSAT, which will integrate our static as well as current affairs portion. Fine. So all of such things have been kept in mind while designing this test series, and this test series will cater every need of yours, and by writing, by attempting every test of this PAREEKSHANAM 2.0, you will be achieving a milestone out of every dimension of your syllabus. Fine. Be it current affairs, be it static, be it your CSAT, be it your GS, or be it some mains test series answer writing, or be it prelims test series answer writing, you will achieve milestones in every dimension by attempting every test in this series. Fine. So moving further to the question of the day. The question of the day was today about Northeast, and particularly we have seen in last few years, not only few years, since the beginning, Northeast has been very much significant for our nation, for India, and particularly for UPSC. Okay. As a nation, India के लिए Northeast is an integral part, like all other states, like all other nations. We have put a lot of efforts there for development of that region. Why? Because they chose to be with us. Fine. They chose to be with progressive India. They chose for democracy. They chose for us. However, due to the lack of connectivity, due to the lack of communication, due to the cultural differences, due to the diversity that region has, the integration has faced many challenges. The strategic location to which this region is located in, that has played its own part, where the challenges have increased due to its strategic location and the we can say that the neighborhood which is there, and some instability in Myanmar, also instability in the region in Bangladesh also till 75. So there were all such factors which played as a part in Northeast, fine, and its integration with India. However, while we see its significance, it is not only that post-independence significance, that this region is rich economy-wise or culture-wise, or it has got its geostrategic location very well, which can connect India to Southeast Asian countries, or which can connect India to a region where there is a lot of natural reserves, or like ecological reserves are there, cultural reserves are there. But this significance holds true while it was British rule, and it holds true when there was the struggle for freedom. Fine. Northeast has played, the leaders from Northeast have played significant role while we discuss the struggle, the freedom struggle, from since the British, once they came to India, then they entered the territorial domains of tribals. Then they later went to Ahom kingdom, and then they captured Ahom kingdom. Then they captured whole northeast, and then started the freedom struggle. Why? Because the otherly feeling which they had towards the British rule and the oppressions which British did over all over India and in Northeast, particularly they were severe because of the PNDT, that act which denotified the tribes as the criminal tribes, fine, denotified tribes. So these were such leaders. इनके इमेजेस इसलिए दिए हैं यहाँ पे ताकि आप इनके इमेजेस के साथ इनका नाम लिंक करके थोड़ा बहुत कुछ 5-6 नाम आपको याद रह जाए, so that we can quote these names while you are writing answers, whether in paper 1, paper 2, or you can write answers in paper 3 also. Particularly paper 1 and paper 2 is more relevant. Fine, GS paper 1 and GS paper 2 is more relevant while we are answering this Northeast. Fine, and internal security also. Then introduction. In the introductory part, we will talk about the India's freedom struggle, and then we will talk about the contributions that hold a significant place while we talk about the Indian freedom struggle and northeastern contribution, particularly the contributions of women. ठीक है, वुमेन ने कितना कंट्रीब्यूट किया नॉर्थ ईस्ट रीजन में, नॉर्थ ईस्ट रीजन से जो वुमेन बिलोंग करती है उनने कितना कंट्रीब्यूट किया, एंड हाउ मच सिग्निफिकेंट इज देयर सैक्रिफाइस. Fine, that is important. And how has this got a central place in Indian history? Okay, that will be the introduction. As I always suggest to the students that introduction should be short and crisp, of around 3 to 4 lines only, not more than that. Then we will talk about the contributions which the leaders like Himanta Kumara Devi, Devi Bardoli, then Nalini Bala Devi, then Bijuli Pokhan, and all others, and Kiran Mai Agarwal. Fine. These were significant women leaders from Assam who played a key important role while they were organizing the public works or the publicity works among rural women. Fine. So these were the leaders who played a significant part in rural India और रूरल नॉर्थ ईस्ट. ठीक है, और वहां का जो ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल स्ट्रक्चर था वो इनने बनाए. Then in non-cooperation movement, while there was non-cooperation movement, these women, they helped in incorporating women into the movement. ठीक है, these leaders from northeast, they brought in the support from women side, because at that time Gandhiji in the mainstream India had allowed all the women to participate in the non-cooperation movement. Then in civil disobedience movement also, and then in Quit India movement also, we have seen that the role of women was increasing day by day. ठीक है, उसके बाद then the role of spinning and weaving, as we see the Swadeshi movement. Fine, self-reliance. Fine, Gandhiji's Charkha movement. Fine, these were some of the major critical constructive programs during the struggle, truce, and struggle period. As we see that this ideology of this truce, where we used to, the Congress INC used to develop or deploy the constructive programs. Fine. Why were these constructive programs were there? In order to generate that simmering heat inside the people, or in order to gather the mass movement, and then at large give a slogan or give a lid to it, so that it can erupt in a large scale movement at national level or at pan level, or with massive energy they will throw out on the British, so that they achieve the objectives which are desired. Fine. गांधी जी ने नॉन कॉपरेशन मूवमेंट स्टार्ट किया था, सिविल डिसोबीडियंस मूवमेंट स्टार्ट किया था. व्हाई? बिकॉज देयर वर सम पर्टिकुलर डिमांड्स, लाइक डिमांड फॉर दिस डोमिनियन. ठीक है, डिमांड फॉर dominion, demand for this constituent assembly, demand for right to make salt. For that he started his movement of this salt satyagraha. Fine. Then Dandi March. Fine. Then this was Rani Gaidunlu. We can give example of her also. Rani Gaidunlu, she led the political movement to drive the British away from Nagaland, Manipur, as she was, and the surrounding Naga areas, and she was also known as the Queen of Nagas. Fine. So that will be the factual part of this question. Because this question is from history, so we will limit the question into the this answer or the model answer into the word limit only, and that is how we will answer this question while we are getting similar questions in UPSC or in our exams. Then in the conclusionary part, we will talk about the critical responsibilities of India's struggle for freedom, and these critical responsibilities of women that they shared while there was this Indian freedom struggle going on till 1947. That how much bravery and how much courage they showed, which later got us to achieve the larger objective, that was the freedom struggle or the freedom at large or the independence at large. Okay, so that is how we will conclude the answer. Fine. And this is the JV's learning app, which you can download by scanning this QR code, or you can directly go to Play Stores and you will download this app from Android as well as iOS platforms. You will get access to a lot of resources through this app, fine, which are available on this app. Now these slides which we will be discussing from now onwards comes under JV's add-ons, fine, or JV's value addition material. Okay, such slides are there in every discussion which we are going through in Daily Marg. Now the freedom fighters which were other than these which we discussed in this question and their contribution in Northeast. Okay, अब कौन-कौन से और थे? We had this Maniram Diwan, who was in Assam. He was the first who went against the plantation, this plantation crops, or it is sometimes known as plantation colonialism. Okay, colonialism through plantation or the mercantilism. What these British did was in banana republics also and in India also, इन्होंने टी गार्डन्स यहाँ पे एस्टैब्लिश किए, वहाँ पे बनाना के गार्डन्स एस्टैब्लिश किए, शुगर केन के गार्डन्स एस्टैब्लिश किए. Why? Because these plantation crops जो थे, plantation gardens जो थे, they required some investment at the beginning. ठीक है? But this Maniram Devan was the first person who started his own private tea garden, fine, in Assam. Okay, so that was his contribution. Later he became a leader for such things and contributions. Later he inspired many people and he took part in 1857 revolt. However, after the revolt was suppressed, he was hanged by the British authorities. Same was there from Meghalaya. There was another leader whose name was Kiang Nagba, and he also took part in 1857 revolt, and he was publicly, openly hanged in the West Jayantara district. Fine. और इनकी जो ये इनका जो हुआ था, like when he was publicly hanged, that this contribution of him or such contribution was recognized by the government of India, and in 2001 we issued a postage stamp also to commemorate his this contribution towards the freedom struggle. One more leader was there from Northeast, and his name was Taj Miderin, 1917. He was from the European village of Northeast, Mishmi Hills, Meghalaya में है, this Arunachal में है, and he established this Mishmi leadership to resist unholy. There are three hills, this Miri, Mishmi, Abor in upper this northeast region of Arunachal Pradesh. Then he established this unholy leadership he established this leadership, Mishmi leadership, against the unholy expansion of British authorities, as Brits were expanding at that time. So he established this leadership. Then he was later captured in the Tezpur and was hanged publicly. He was hanged by British authorities. Rani Gaidunlu also, she was a Rongmei Naga spiritual leader. As I said, that she was known as Queen of Nagas. Okay, so then she also revolted against the armed resistance. She revolted through the armed resistance against the British authorities. However, later she got life imprisonment, and she died in this prison only. Fine. And Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru gave her the title of Rani, and she was popularly got this popularity and this name Rani Gaidunlu. After independence, she was released and she received this Padma Bhushan award. ठीक है, गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया ने इसको दिया था. Then Kushal Kumar, he was one of the leaders from Assam, and he took part during Quit India movement. He made some groups and he organized Assam under his leadership against the British. ठीक है. And then later एक ट्रेन एक्सीडेंट होता है और उस एक्सीडेंट की जिम्मेवारी इसके ऊपर डाली जाती है that he was the man behind this train accident, and उसके पीछे फिर इसको बोला जाता है that he was the mastermind and then he was hanged on these charges. Fine. So that is the historical part. But yes, there is a particular significance of this northeastern region for India, and such significance is there which will help, which is being asked, and due to this significance only, this region is important for UPSC. Fine. और यही सिग्निफिकेंस की वजह से, ये इंपॉर्टेंस जो इस रीजन की है, चाहे वो इसकी लोकेशन है, ज्योग्राफी है, लोग हैं, रिसोर्सेज हैं, इसकी इकोनॉमी है, यही इसको इम्पोर्टेंट बनाती है यूपीएससी के लिए, और यही इसको इम्पोर्टेंट बनाती है इसलिए कि यहाँ से एमसीक्यूज और मेंस के क्वेश्चन बनते हैं. ठीक है. तो अब इसकी स्ट्रैटेजिक लोकेशन ये सिग्निफिकेंस देखते हैं. फर्स्ट इज अबाउट स्ट्रैटेजिक सिग्निफिकेंस दैट इट होल्ड्स अ गेटवे टुवर्ड्स साउथ ईस्ट एशिया एंड बियॉन्ड. फाइन. अगर हमें इस एरिया को एक्सेस करना है तो टेरिटोरियली हम बस यहाँ से एक्सेस कर सकते हैं. ठीक है. अदरवाइज वी हैव टू गो थ्रू द मेरीन रूट. ठीक है. देन इंडियाज लैंड ब्रिज टुवर्ड्स म्यांमार. ठीक है. बिकॉज ये जो है हमारा यहाँ पे नेबर म्यांमार, it's significant for us because under Act East policy we have been putting more emphasis on this region, that is eastern region of India. And then cultural significance of this area is around 200 tribes live there. ठीक है. तो अगर आपको कहीं पे भी ऐसा स्टेटमेंट आए दैट सिग्निफिकेंस ऑफ नॉर्थ ईस्ट आपको बताना पड़े मेंस के आंसर्स में, तो आप ये जो फैक्ट्स यहाँ पे दिए जा रहे हैं इनको डायरेक्टली यूज कर सकते हैं. प्रीलिम्स के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से यहाँ पे हॉर्नबिल फेस्टिवल जो नागालैंड का है, पेंग लासो जो सिक्किम का है, दिस नॉर्थ ईस्ट इज द ओनली रीजन विच इज टोटली डाउरी फ्री जोन. डांस बिहू जो असम का है. Then there are sacred groves known as Omang Lai, which are being worshipped in Manipur. These are such facts which UPSC can ask you in prelims. Then there is also tea, oil and timber, of which Northeast is very much rich in. Okay. Northeast has a potential of 50,000 megawatts of hydroelectric power, which we can generate over there. Fine. इतना ज़्यादा abundance और इतना ज़्यादा abundant resources इस region को सिग्निफिकेंट बनाता है. इंडो बर्मा बायोडाइवर्सिटी हॉटस्पॉट जो कि 4 ही हैं. फाइन. इसमें हमारा हिमालय का एक आता है और इंडो बर्मा एक आता है. फाइन. टोटल 8 हॉटस्पॉट्स है वर्ल्ड में, सच हॉटस्पॉट्स, और उसमें से एक जो है इंडिया का. इंडिया में टोटल 4 है एंड उसमें से ये इंडो बर्मा बायोडाइवर्सिटी हॉटस्पॉट का भी एक पार्ट है. ग्लोबल बायोडाइवर्सिटी हॉटस्पॉट्स खाली 8 है. इट्स वन ऑफ द हाईएस्ट एवियन एंड प्लांट बायोडाइवर्सिटी रीजन. ठीक है. जहाँ पे सबसे ज़्यादा बर्ड्स और सबसे ज़्यादा प्लांट्स या बायोडाइवर्सिटी प्लांट्स की है. देन दिस रीजन हैज़ अ स्पेसिफिक फीचर दैट सारी की सारी बियर स्पीशीज जो है अगर पाई जाती है तो वो यहाँ पाई जाती है. ठीक है. जैसे लास्ट ईयर एक क्वेश्चन आया था, ऑल द बिग कैट्स आर फाउंड इन विच दिस स्टेट ऑफ इंडिया. ठीक है. सो सच क्वेश्चन कैन बी आस्क्ड ओवर हियर आल्सो दैट ऑल द बियर स्पीशीज आर फाउंड इन विच स्टेट आल्सो. Then Japan, as internationally we can say that Japan has been very much into efforts, playing more efforts for the development of Northeast India, and in that way also Indian government has also taken many steps like Bharatmala project, Pariyojana for connectivity, and regional connectivity scheme which is UDAN for the region. Then Kaladan multimodal transit project with Myanmar, which will be a multimodal transit project so that the trade or the marine trade and will be easier. Then there is our India Myanmar Thailand trilateral highway also, which we are developing, and there is too much of focus on this project, which is the key project of government. Then yes, there is Swadesh Darshan scheme for tourism of Northeast. For Northeast के tourism को promote करने के लिए there is a scheme, this Swadesh Darshan scheme, and this is also one of the key project of government of India which we have taken for such development. Then there is also Digital Northeast Vision 2022 document, which was released by government, and it talks about the digital connectivity and digital accessibility of Northeast. There is National Bamboo Mission, which promotes the bamboo products and bamboo as a minor product for the ownership of bamboo. Japan, as I said, has played major role in northeastern connectivity. Recently, Mary Kom in sports 2012 में तो उन्होंने ओलंपिक्स में ये लिया था. Then मीराबाई छानू from Manipur last year bagged silver Tokyo Olympics in 2020. So that is the recent part, and from Northeast, and these were the significance. This was the significance of Northeast, and these were the particular freedom fighters from Northeast, which we discussed over in the value addition material of JVs, or in the value addition material which you will be getting on daily basis when you join this program, Daily Mark. This is a UPSC previous year question, and simply we can answer this question by saying that it's the 5th schedule which provides for the scheduled areas, and 6th is for scheduled tribes and those states which have scheduled tribe population. Then thank you for joining me here in this discussion. We wish you all the best from JV's IAS. Keep learning and keep working hard for your exams. All the best. Thank you once again.